Does your purple emulsion paint look perfect in the bucket, but once it's on the wall, it fails? No coverage, dusty and chalky when you touched it. Today, I will reveal the real science behind this problem, and I'll give you the correct 4 liters formula of purple emulsion paint using the market chemical system. So watch carefully because this mistake is what separates beginners from professional. And I was inspired by one of my students who chatted me up and told me the issue he had with his formulation using his own process. Before we dive in, hit the subscription and tap the bell so you never miss a paint manufacturing tutorial. And also comment below what country are you watching from. So the first problem is no coverage. That was what I observed and which he too identified. So what is the cause? Simple. Too much water dilution, be it maybe when you want to paint or during your production process. You see, purple color at times is usually weak, and when you compare it to the titanium dioxide, and also it influences the binder. So poor pigment dispersion also make this particular issue occur. So now, how do you fix it? The first process is to reduce your water dilution. Increase your titanium dioxide for opacity, which is the coverage, and balance fillers against binder. Don't overload calcium carbonate. A lot of people will say, I want my paint to be thick. They go put excessive calcium. There are ways you can make your paint thick, you understand? So you can use extended fillers like talc powder and so many other great powder out there. You understand? Because weak coverage equals to paint without muscle. And once your paint doesn't have muscle on the wall, it leads to poor coverage. And that is going to give your paint brand a bad reputation. Hope you understand. Wait, don't click away yet because the one killer of emulsion paint isn't coverage. It is the problem that makes your paint turn into dust when you rub the wall. Let me show you why. So now, the next problem is dustiness, chalky of paint. Why does this happen? The reason is simple. Too little binder, which is your acrylic emulsion or your PVA. You understand? The second is too much calcium carbonate fillers. When you use excessive calcium carbonate fillers, it weakens the power of your water to your calcium carbonate. The third is no texanol or glycone that makes the paint to flame and locks. You understand? And the other one is your pigments not seen into the flame properly. You understand? So how do you go about fixing all this process? The best is increase your binder by 10 to 20%. Add texanol, even if it's little, or your propylene glycol for flame strength. You understand? And also reduce excessive fillers. Please, I keep saying it, there are other ways you paint, you can achieve thickness from your paint. Always add antifungi and dispensers. It makes your paint not to lock and also not to be dusty, because dusty paint equals to weak binder plus too much chalkiness, and in this process you're going to have a disaster on the wall, and nobody wants to produce paint and afterwards you hear your customer complaining about low coverage, the paint is staining, it's dusty, it's chalky. So please take note, minimize the calcium carbonate that you add during the production process. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, the correct 4 liters purple formula step by step. So watch this carefully. So here is your professional formula on how to go about achieving a perfect purple 4 liters emulsion paint. Number 1 is water, which is 1 liters. Number 2 is your carbon PT 10 gram. The third chemical is your wetting agent 5 gram. Defoamer is 5 gram. Your propylene glycol 80 gram. Grams, please, not liters. Your biocide is 8 gram. The titanium dioxide is 250 gram. Your calcium carbonate is 1.5 kg. You understand? And your talc powder is 250 gram. Your acrylic binder is 1.5 kg. Remember, it is 4 liters purple emulsion paint we're producing. I know I'm repeating myself. So Texanol is 25 gram and your ammonia is 3 gram. Very little, please. Your thickener is 10 gram and your purple paste should be 160 gram for some of us that have purple paste in our country. If you don't have purple paste in your country, you can use your red paste 60 gram and your blue paste 50 gram, and then you proceed to the production process by adding your additives. After your additives, you follow up with your fillers. You understand? And after your fillers, you add your binder, and after your binder, you adjust with your pH, which is your ammonia, then you tint with your color, and then you rest and package. So after production, you let your paint rest for like 12 hours. If you can wait for 12 hours, at least you wait for 4 to 5 hours. The reason it is advisable for you to wait after you finish producing your paint is because a lot of paint manufacturers are guilty of this process. Immediately they finish producing their paint, they send it out to dispatch the customer because they just order the product. Yes, there is a way you can actually convince your customer to wait a little because the person is definitely going to get his or her product. So what do? You test run the paint by applying it on the wall. If you have any challenges, you can quickly adjust it by either increasing your acrylic or by adding your thickener or checking the opacity of the paint. The reason is because you could trust your formulation. The formulation could be the best formulation out there, but what about the chemicals? You can't trust the chemicals. You can't trust the paint seller chemicals, except you are buying the chemical from the original rightful source. So if you now encounter issues like that, what do? You don't have any problem. You understand? The only thing you need to do is to add more acrylic binder to make your paint durable. That is why I usually advise my students and my community that after producing your paint, please let it rest. When you hear the word rest, it simply means allow the paint to be in your storage tank or your storage bucket, you understand, for some hours, and apply it on the wall. And after you've the paint has dried on the wall, you've checked the finishing outcome of the paint and you are sure that the product is okay, you can now put your paint into your containers, you understand, and then you dispatch. In that way, you don't have a problem with your production process. You heard me. Most of the times, it is not your formula. It could be your chemical. And if you know it's your formula, of course, you can also reach out to me. And that is why we are here to guide you through. And of course, you enroll for our courses and learn the right way about this paint, chemistry, and all of that. Hope you understand. In the screen, same color, but one is dusty and the other is weak. You understand? So the other is vibrant and professional. You understand? So imagine your customer saying, this finishing is luxury and beautiful, and that is it. Now you know why purple emulsion paint fails and how to fix it with the correct 4 liters formula. If this video was helpful, give this video a thumbs up by liking the video, and of course subscribe to Glina Artistic Paint Education channel, and of course share this video with your paint community so they can as well learn. And if you're ready to build your paint brand into a profitable business, then join our paint manufacturing business masterclass. The link is going to be in the description, or you can book a free clarity call where you get more clarity on how to begin your journey. Remember, paint is not just color, it is power, and that is what I'm here to put you through all the way. Thank you for tuning in today. Until we meet again, bye for now.